Well, hello there, humans, bees, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and hope you're lucky enough to be doing it too. I'm Bushka on Blitz, and I'm really stoked to be back with you today. You might have noticed over the weekend that I didn't do the subs replay Saturday and Sunday. Now, there's a reason for that. I'm changing things up just a touch. I'm going to be doing also a lot of different stuff that involves competitions, and I want to make the subs replays into a comp. I've got a couple of the patrons who are very, very cool people who are going to be organising a bit of a comps committee, who are going to organise some comps for me. I'm going to get Wargaming to sponsor them, all kinds of things. But I don't want to work on the Saturday and the Sunday. Now, I know this may sound unacceptable to some of you, but it was basically really, really affecting my ability to be creative in the videos. And it was pretty tough on the missus and Junior as well. Trying to bundle everything in and working the weekends too was just bloody silly. So what I'm going to do now is actually continue to get replays from you guys and put them out there, but I'm going to do them as a live stream. I'm going to put 4 or 5 replays together, do it as a live stream during the week, and hopefully put polls up during the live stream so people can vote for what is the best replay, and then maybe get Wargaming to kick in a little bit of love for that, like a bit of gold or something along those lines, and make it more of a channel experience, because they're not the highest rating videos that I'm finding on the channel, but they are watched by the diehards and the guys who are really good players and actually submit the replays, and I think it's an important part for us as a community to continue. So I want to keep that going, and that's how it's going to be happening. So hats off, don't get too stressed about that stuff. We're going to keep doing that thing. I did the Overpowered Tanks video. A lot of people seem to take that as a bit of a thing of me saying this tank's overpowered, that's tank overpowered, and that's all there is to it. I'm more than willing to enter into debate about that stuff. You guys are great. Part of the thing that fuels the fire is putting videos like that up, because they are really videos that do create a bit of a stir, and they cause talk and consternation, and everyone has a chat and has their own opinions, and that's part of the fun of it. I really enjoy that, and that's just one man's opinion too. Also, the Mod 1 is an amazing tank, and I had a heap of people say that tank needs to be there, so maybe it does. We'll go into that and maybe do a podcast on it as well. This is another tank that was in there that was in the Overpowered Tanks, and I just want to talk about the 54 lightweight, because a lot of people noted that 3 of the tanks I put in were light tanks. And that's enormous, because really, there's a lot of different tanks in the game. And for 3 of the tanks that I chose out of like 7 tanks to be one particular class is pretty telling as to how I play and what I consider to be valuable. And I consider not being hit to be incredibly valuable. And the best way to not get hit is to not be seen, whether you're in a heavy, a light, or a medium. It's one of the reasons why the IS-7, I think, is incredibly valuable with that huge armor profile, mobility, and yet it's very, very low to the ground for something that's a tier 10 heavy tank. Medium tanks have good camouflage, and they generally have better armor than light tanks. This is an RU-251 and a Type 59. Sham, my good mate Sham, flying Mezza from the Grump clan. They're rolling RU-251s and Type 59s for this little test. Have a look. Fly Mezza's there. He's next to Sham. He's now moved forward. While they're moving, when I'm running double rations, vents, and binoculars, and optics, I can't see Fly Mezza until he's 200 meters away. I can see Sham Equus when he moves at 240 odd meters. That means that Sham gets seen 20% further away than Fly Mezza does. And that's a big bloody number when you're running around in a public game. It means that even if you're not very conscious of it, someone running with a full cruise skill, full perks Type 54 lightweight like me, can get his concealment down to something like 190 meters while going 70 kilometers an hour. That's stupidly strong. And I can do it in a tank that's so mobile and so strong armor profile wise. It's just silly, okay? It's just silly to have that kind of ability in the game. If you're driving the PC version of World of Tanks, lights get light tank matchmaking. They actually play up a whole lot of tiers because of those skills. And that doesn't happen in Blitz, and it's one of the reasons why tanks like this that actually have fairly strong armor profiles for a light tank, unlike the RU-251, unlike the SP1C, unlike the T71, they can take advantage of it, and they can also bounce shots at the same time as running around and spotting everyone. So you can play a tank that can both spot for your team and allow them to do a lot more damage, and can be played very, very aggressively if you're good enough to play it that way, like a medium tank but keep dropping off the radar while it's doing it, and do it faster than a medium tank, and do it with much better mobility than a medium tank. You can see I'm in the 54 lightweight here, and I don't play it like it's a soft RU251 or something. I play it like it's a T44, but a T44 that's really, really fast and has really, really good camouflage. And that allows you to do more for your team and more in the game. I don't tend to have massive damage games in this tank, but what I do tend to do is spot a lot of tanks and create really, really good opportunities for my team. I'm very aggressive with it. And you look at, I'm bouncing shots in a light tank, and I'm tanking too. Like, I'm now going to hide behind. Look at this thing. It's just silly, isn't it? Like, that's a T44. This is basically a tank with the same armor profile, and yet I am able to do so much more with the same kind of gun. There's not all light tanks are like that. I mean, if you don't have that armor profile, then you certainly do have a lot more risk involved in playing in that fashion. But if you have that, then you can be more aggressive, and you can spot for your team and still get out of there if needs be, and still bounce shots. Like, this is just rubbish. And this is one of my favorite tanks because of this. It's a joy to play. This tank is an absolute joy to play because you play aggressively, you play quickly, you play with pace, you play with a lot of aggression, and yet you don't get penalised for it particularly. You're still going to get penetrated if you put yourself in silly situations. Like, that was pretty funny there. Just that poor old SP1C. He got thrown about 50 metres forward by that AMX 5100. I mean, look how low to the ground I am here, and I'm going to be able to, like, I don't have the gun depression I'd like my kingdom for a degree of gun depression there. That was pretty funny. And that's one of the big parts about this game is when it's more enjoyable, I find that you play better. And you can certainly be more loose and more fancy-free playing a tank. Like, look at that SP1C. We just hit him with HE, and we will have full pens on him with HE because he's got 15 millimeters of armor everywhere. Same with that Borsig. He's got, like, you just smash them. You don't have that problem with the 54 lightweight. So I think I've illustrated exactly what I'm talking there, and we just take one there on the tracks. That doesn't actually pen. I'm in love with light tanks and that whole public gameplay style where you get to really push the limit, push the envelope. You'll see in the intro that there's a VK2801 flying through the air, and there's an LTTB leaping off the top of the old Dead Rail map and sailing over a T54. There are all kinds of things like that you just can't do in other tanks, and I find that hilariously fun. You also get to flex a lot. You see there's an M103 there. Now you're not impervious. It's a tier 9 heavy tank with really nice gun handling and penetration values. But you've got such agility. Look at the way that I'm hitting these guys. I've taken one shot, I've put 3 or 4 in, I've bounced a couple of shots. I'm now going to flex. I'm going to flex because it's got too hot here. It's got too hot to handle. I'm going to move across. I'm going to let my camo reset. You can see I'm just letting the camo reset, backing up, and then I'm going to fly over this area here, straight down at pace, put my life in my hands. You can see they are absolutely able to see me, but I'm in a very, very quick tank, and I'm going to go right around the back. I've counted the tanks. There are 7 tanks there. Hoodie is in the AMX 5100. I'm going to jump all the way down here and go low, and I'm doing 74 kilometers an hour. 74 kilometers an hour in a tank that just bounced a tier 8 heavy in that VK45 over there, the O2A, and held the line up the top, and I'm now behind them. There's the AMX 5100. I'm just going to back out because I'm incredibly quick and have a great agility, and I'm going to flex out of that situation, and then I'm going to go corner fight him. I'm going to corner fight him and look for a shot there. Can't get the gun down. That's all right. I don't have to always win that one. Get the gun down, take one shot, and bugger off again. Just get the hell out of there, because really, there is nothing good for me there. I love this tank. I love light tanks. That's a failing of mine, okay? So maybe I wait light tanks more heavily than I do heavy tanks because I just enjoy playing them so much and to such a degree. But why wouldn't you? Look at the quality of gameplay you get. You get to decide where you're fighting. You get to run around at 70 kilometers an hour, chuck power slides, and just, I mean, who doesn't want to do that? It's just so much fun. We're going to have another game here. This is one from Hoodie, and then finally we're going to have a last game with Ouija that I just had today. I'm flying along here again, 60 kilometers an hour, no problems whatsoever. Can be the tip of the spear, can be someone else in a T54 or something, but I do it a lot better in a 54 lightweight. That RU251 doesn't have the armor profile, and that's the whole reason why, although I think the RU is a great tank, it's not on a par for me like a LTTB or a 54 lightweight. And we're just cruising around. We've punished this corner here. We're now moving along. We're going to get shots in over here. There's an IS-6. We're looking for shots there. And then I see on my right-hand side, there are a whole lot of tanks pushing around. Hoodie's going to push up on the right in the 5100. I'm going to come screaming across here. My camo is reset now, so it means if I get spotted here, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. There you go, I'm spotted again. But I'm already well past there and I'm doing 60 kilometers an hour again. I'm just going up here, letting them see more targets, more spots. There's the KV5. I'm going to push all the way in. I'm now under that embankment there. So he can't see me. That KV5 can no longer see me. I'm effectively hull down here because I'm a low to the ground tank. 400 alpha into the side of a tier 8 heavy because that's an AMX 5100, absolutely no armor. And then we get another one in for 345, kill him. I'm still under the gun here and I'm just going to push on this KV5, bounce a shot because obviously I am a light tank, put one into the R2D2, go round him like he's standing still because he is for all intents and purposes standing still. And I'm so mobile. Just, this is a great tank. I should have this tank in the garage. Now, it's not a guaranteed winner. It's certainly not going to be the huge damage machine that, say, a Type 62 has at Tier 7 because it just doesn't have that kind of DPM. It's got the T44's gun, the Type 59's gun, the T54 Mod 1's gun. They all kind of share the same gun and the same stats. But it's got more speed than all of those tanks. It's got better mobility than all of those tanks, and it's got that incredible camouflage. And I just say to Ouija, I'm going to go spot first. It's because for my team, it's better if they get targets, and I'm going to feed them. I'm going to feed them some tanks. Leopard PTA, I pull back. I've spotted him. That's a tier 9 medium. He didn't see me. I've now spotted the T69 as well. All well and good. Now we're just going to work this middle area here. Now, that is a T54 there. He's in a terrible position because he's pushed up too hard and too high, which is all well and good until you get spotted. And then if there's anyone on the left-hand side of the screen, he will get just deleted. And there's 3 TDs that we haven't really got spotted. There's one, that's the Waffle Tractor. He's popped on the left-hand side. There's still a Borsig and a Jagdpanther 2, both very, very good guns. And the 54 takes 1, then 2, and then 3. And he's done. If that was a 54 lightweight and that PTA wasn't spotting him, no one would be able to see me. I wouldn't have taken that damage. That's huge. That is such a thing that is overlooked. And the player base doesn't feed each other well enough. Like a lot of people don't spot for their teammates. And you can see I take a shot, but I'm also lighting up that Jagdpanther 2 and that Waffle Tractor. And I can see Ouija down there on my left. This is such a strong position on the map and it's such a control point that you can get in there with a tank like this and absolutely do wonderful stuff. The only thing you really got to watch out for is proximity spotting. I mean, I'm in the same position that that T54 was in, but I'm completely unspotted. Completely unspotted. I'm going to put the shotting on the Waffle Tractor and pull back. Now, the Jagdpanther or the Borsig, I'm not sure which it is clever enough to realise that this is going on. And then yeah, there you go. They're waiting for me. They're absolutely waiting for me. It was the Jagdpanther, in fact, because I didn't get hit hard enough for a Borsig to have been responsible for that. But all in all, not a bad trade-off. I've really held that flank down. I've kept them stuck there. The Borsig is still stuck there. The Waffle's wanting to push up. There's the Waffle. He's pushed down and around. Jagdpanther is still spotted. They're in a really poor position. We're just taking our time. We're helping the team out. It's a great team tank. It really, really is. If you play it in the right manner, you can get spots for your team. You can then be aggressive. I'm going to push down on this waffle tractor because he's in a huge, like that's a terrible spot to be in. Those of you who've been watching the channel will note that that is a Bushka no-scope miss. I have a few of those because I always like the no-scope look for videos. I think it looks much cooler. We're going around the waffle. No problems at all. Someone else will nut him. He just was in a bad spot. There's a great bloke over there from Mojo's clan, my good mate Mojo72, Alpha Omega from the Skucks clan. They're a lovely clan, and the PTA's in platoon with him. So I can tell that straight away. I mean, look at that. Great little shot. Great little tank. Up and down like a pogo stick. Here's another Bushka no-scope miss because I'm trying to make it look cool for the video. That's terrible. But hey, you know, we are what we are. We get one that we deserve here from the RU. I think I'm hull down. I'm actually not. He's going to push up the hill there. And you'll see, I'm going to switch to HE on the RU because I can pen him. Ouija's coming around the back. Alpha Omega in the E75 is there against that Yag Tiger on our team. 353 into the back. I mean, that's what you should be able to do against all light tanks, really. And it just doesn't suffer that at all. This tank really doesn't suffer that issue unless you're silly enough to go backwards and get shot by like a big high penetration TD or something along those lines. We're now going to redeploy. We're going to flex, as they say on the NA server. We're going to go all the way around here, and I'm going to make sure I'm under the gun, so I'm absolutely unspotted by the E75. It doesn't work perfectly. We get there just a fraction, a hair's breadth too late, and Alpha Omega has already killed Miss Bird, the Yag Tagger, and has moved, and we just missed the shot. So, yeah, we just now tell him he's got one in the cannon. He's on a reload now. I'm pushing down. I'm going to go all the way around, and I'm going to redeploy, and I'm going to do it quickly. So I'm unspotted. I'm going to push all the way around here. E75 can't see me. The Leopard PTA doesn't know where I am. He thinks his platoon mate is pushing up on a tank. I'm just not there. I've gone. The E75 is now off on his own. I've flexed all the way back around the corner, and a lovely big power slide. We're just going to go down there on the PTA, finish him up. I'm going to push around down here. RU doesn't even know I'm there. Doesn't know I'm existing. Gone. That's a game winner right there because now Ouija and I are 2-on-1 against a massive, slow traverse E75. And of course, I'm going to go all the way around again. And then because I like Mojo and the boys from Skucks, I'm just going to give the E75 the pleasure of getting the kill on me with a lovely little bit of a ram kill. That's the T54 lightweight, guys. Nothing special there, just such a solid tank to drive, such a lovely, easy drive, and so capable of doing so much to help both you and your teammates get the wins. I'm Bushka on Blitz. Until next time, look after yourselves, stay safe on the battlefield, and bye for now.